Okay. Where are we? Good morning. What's the squeal all about? Sizing. No, not today. Sugasan sizing. Couldn't wait for today after yesterday's little disaster. I had to do it last night. So I was up there, never mind what time, but I was up there last night doing it. And because of the not able to get it ready for yesterday, she's coming in today. It's Saturday. She normally wouldn't be here. But she's coming in today to pull it down and cut her paper and get it ready. So we're back to our normal work here. Sugasan learns, Dave hasn't. Oh, Jesus. So not only is my life being watched, the highlights are being clipped and rubbed in my face, are they? If you guys knew the half of it, you don't know the half of it. Anyway, here we go. Okay, a couple things to do today. Something we haven't seen before is happening on the stream this morning. And what we're going to do first is, this is the next, where are we? Yesterday we finished off one of the color blocks. Those two are done now. There's 3 left to go. So we'll just move on to the next one. I'll be pasting this down in a few minutes and carving it. We've seen that before. That's no problem. We've seen that many times. But the knife, as we mentioned yesterday, was it yesterday, the day before? This blade is now, this is at the end of life. The blade has become too short, and it's time to replace it. So I've got a new blade waiting here, and we'll see how the transfer goes. It's no big deal. The way they come from the maker, we ask them, just don't sharpen these things, just give me the raw blade, but they always do sharpen it. So, but it's the wrong angle that I want. So anyway, we'll do that in a minute. First, let's get this pasted down. And again, don't know how much to explain to cover the whole thing again and again and again. This is going to go on a piece of wood. Before we do paste it down, we should check to make sure there's no defects on the wood that are going to fall in important places. And I'm still, this is an open, there's no big deal, a couple of tiny hard spots. We've talked before again, if we have a hard spot that matches a smooth area of color, it can cause problems. So just look for it's not a bad piece of wood though. Okay, I think we'll just do it, just the normal place. There will be, I don't have them ready in a slideshow for you, there will be some fun pictures coming up about wood. Today's Saturday, right? On Wednesday afternoon, myself and Aoyama-san went to the wood yards at Kiba because we'd had a tip about some wood that was ready. And we found some, and we bought some, and we had fun playing with it over there at Kiba, and we brought it back here last night. We rented a truck, and Kawai-san and Cameron actually went out there in a truck and brought it back. So we've got some pictures, not today, but as soon as I can get them arranged for you. Okay, going to be a bang, going to be some noise. Just one tap. Again, those of you with headphones, if it's a problem, there's a hammer coming. 3, 2, 1. Do we have new people on the stream today? I guess there's always new people, isn't there? So we should explain a little bit about what's going on. You can see perhaps that there's two pieces of paper here. They're stuck together. The yellow piece here is a stiffer paper just for support. It's going to be thrown away in a moment. And bonded to the stiff support paper is a very thin piece of paper. This is a famous Japanese gampi that we use. And this thin paper has the image on it. And this yellow was just for holding it, just for transferring it, just for manipulation. It's a carrier. And it's now gone. It did its job. It carried it well. And the gampi was too weak. It's too thin. It could be distorted. It could have changed. The carrier just helps us get it in place. And now the thin gampi is in place, and it went on this piece of wood face down. The image was on the front side of the gampi. I pasted it face down, so the image was now, it's glued right to the surface of the wood. And now I'm going to try, if I can do this, I'm going to peel away the back side of the gampi paper. Japanese paper is very much, in layers. You can see the fibers here, and we're pulling away from the back many of the fibers of the paper, and they clump together. They come up in sort of layers, even though the paper isn't really actually layered like this. So again, the front side of the paper is still on the block, the back side is coming off, and you can see the difference. It allows us to see the lines much easier. We have a nice peel happening today here. I got the moisture just about right. Not perfect. Close enough. Look at that. Some parts, actually, I took off a bit too much. That's very, very clear. That's like 90% of the paper is gone and 10% is left. That's closer than I want to go. But there it is. It's okay. Peel off a few of the loose little bit scraps here and there. Look at this, you can see it's still peeling back. It's really easy to go too far. Yeah, that's okay. We're not talking about delicate fine lines here. There we go. Okay, good. Okay, the block is ready. It's a little bit wet because we just glued it down. So let's leave that sit for a few minutes and let's get my knife ready. Comments, right? Chatting. I said one tap, trust God. Give me a break. There was one big tap and a tiny echo. What would be the color of this block? I forget. This is going to be, this will be gray. Again, I know the color you see here, the yellow-green color, is nothing to do with the color that will appear in the print. It's just a marker, a zone marker. It's to help us see what we're doing. This block, I think, if I remember correctly, this will be the one for a silvery gray tone in the finished print. And what we're probably going to do is it'll be a silvery gray tone at the top and maybe a darker gray at the bottom. I'm not sure. Haven't been decided yet. Oh, Kelsey's here. Okay, Kelly, Kelsey to show. This is the couple that got married here last month. How are you doing? You still together? Should I say things like that? Are you back home? 9.3 out of 10 peel. Is this the Olympics? Yes. So. Okay, look, I got to ignore you guys. I got to do some work, okay? I got to get going. Okay, let me put the block aside for a minute. If I zoom in, I'll get in trouble for not being able to see. Okay, here's the knife. And here's the new blade going in. And as I said, the little workshop we buy these from, they put an edge on it, they sharpened it the way they like it. You can perhaps see the angle, maybe. I'm not sure if you can see too far away. They've put it at about I don't know, 60-degree angle. We need something closer to a 45. Sorry, excuse me. We need about a 45 for general day-by-day work. We sharpen it more this way for delicate work going on corners, and we sharpen more this way for straight line work. But for daily, normal use, it's about a 45. And my handle is, it's also coming not too much left on the end of its life, but it's still got a bunch left in it. So here we are. I've been using tape to hold this in because as we sharpen, this thing gets beveled and beveled and beveled as I'm careless or as I cut the angle down for different sharpening, so that the brass thing is long gone. There's the old blade coming out. And you can see where we are with these things. I don't know how much of this is going to show on the screen. Can you see? Let's put them side by side like this. Is it showing? I think it is showing. You can see there's a sort of a dullish colored area at the bottom of the blade. This is the area we can't use. When they were making them, this is where the guy was holding it with, you know, a red hot blade. They hold it with pincers or whatever, and they hammer it. This is 2 layers of steel. A hard, high-carbon steel on the bottom, and a softer, low-carbon steel on the top. It's the same, you know, basic sword construction deal. And they hammer it. The guys hammer. And sometimes they use hand hammering, dang, 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 dang. And sometimes they got a power hammer. It's just coming down, bang, 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 and he puts the thing in, bang, 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 bang. So this is the part that has been properly bonded and properly forged. Is that the right word? I don't know. And this part is unusable. And you can see what's happened here. My blade, this older blade, was originally that long, and bit by bit by bit, I've sharpened it down, 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 down. And it's now just got to the point where we're done. It's finished. It's become too short. This last section here is almost not usable. And actually, I bent it the other day. I was very surprised. Nobody on the stream seems to have noticed that. What I was doing was when I was carving, I put a bit too much pressure in, and you can see. There's probably, you can see. Actually, I bent it quite strongly, and it won't bend back, it'll just break off. Anyway, that's being retired. Here's a new one coming in. Now, because my handle is old, the socket in the middle, the slot in the middle, has become wibbly wobbly. And these blades now, if I just stick them in like this, it's way, way too loose. So we're going to use a very high-tech solution here. Duct tape, not duct tape, but tape. The new blade is way back. It's right back to the end of the handle now. That's about, you know, they're designed to fit these handles. So the slot goes right to the end. The new blade is now nestled all the way down the length of the handle, just nicely. I've got the amount I want sticking out. I'll now sharpen it. And over the next few weeks / months, depending on how much time I get back to my bench, this will be sharpened and shortened and sharpened and shortened and pulled out and sharpened and shortened and pulled out until, again, it gets to this. It gets to this point. So I'm sorry if I disappoint you with all this taping and shimming and stuff like this, but whatever. A tool is a tool. We've got to... Okay, good. New blade, nice tight wrapping. Next step, sharpening. This one, it's just going to, for now, I'm going to go in here, and I think I got a bunch of them. Here we are. There's another one. Ooh, look at that one. I let that one go quite a bit shorter. Look at this, reminding. Look at this, there's another one. Ooh, that's rusty. That's been in here for a day or two. Here's another one. This will be since I came to Asakusa. And before this I was working in Ome, and in a desk drawer in Ome are the previous ones. So you can actually see my productivity here. I came to Asakusa in the autumn of 2014 to start carving here. And these will be the 4 that have been shortened and used since 2014. Now that's a bit embarrassing because that's 4 years now, 3.5 years. So that means I'm almost using 1 blade a year, which is ridiculous. We would normally use a blade in a couple of weeks. But this is an indication of just how little work I get carving these days. That's what you get when you open a shop. So this is embarrassing. That's my productivity. An actual mark of my productivity, or lack of it. Ignoring the chat here, I guess you guys are okay. I can't do both. I can't watch this. Poor Dave can't let go of his old tools. Yeah. Let's leave it. Okay, now I want to change the shape of this thing, so we'll need the 400, which is the strongest stone I have. There's going to be 3 stones in use here. A 400, 1,000, and then something, which number, I don't know. It's just a clear, like a piece of marble. It's a smooth rock. I have no idea what number it is. Because looking at this through the other camera, the one on the MacBook here, if I was perfect at this, a perfect robot, you would see my angle working so that this part with the blade stays absolutely flat, back and forth, back and forth. As I'm a weak human being, there's some amount of rocking up and down. Hopefully it's not too much. We're trying to do this so that it stays flat, back and forth, flat, back and forth. So you try and use the angle of your body, the angle of the geometry to help you rather than hinder you. I can't see this. Maybe I should be rocking my body like this to keep it flat, but I think probably we get the same thing this way. Now, the people working with big chisels, carpenter's chisels and big stuff, they use a jig to hold it flat on the surface of the stone. A little one like this, I think we can manage it, but we'll see. another reason why we ask the guys at the blade makers, don't sharpen this for us. Just please give me the raw stock. Part of it is because it's a waste of time, taking away what they've done and putting my own edge on it. But the other part is because they use grindstones, grinding wheels. And if they're not careful, they just go bzzz, height, next one, bzzz, next one, bzzz, next one. They're trying to work quickly. And they make this thing hot. And if you make it too hot on a grinding wheel, you're going to destroy the temper. I mean, it's never a problem for us on hand stones, but on a grinding wheel, it's really a problem. So it's common for the first few millimeters of a blade. After I've sharpened it, I'm going to start carving. It'll probably go dull quite quickly because the temper at the tip of the blade here has been spoiled a bit because they do it on a grindstone. So we've told them, just leave it, just leave it. We don't want you to do that. As you get closer to the shape you want, you back off the pressure a bit. At the beginning, we're trying to cut away a lot of steel. So push down, grind, cut, cut, cut. But as you get closer, we're almost now at the shape I want. So bit by bit, I should reduce the pressure. Because the harder I push on this, the more actual scratching and gouging happens. And the softer I press, the less gouging. And we're not polishing it at this point, but we don't want deep scratches because it takes too much time to take out of the next step. So once you're near the end of work on any stone, back off the pressure for the last bunch of strokes. Cut that burr off so I can see what's going on here. All right, there's our new shape. I don't know if we're going to be able to see this. Is it going to focus? I can't tell if it's focusing here. I can't see it myself. That's our new shape. Again, as I said, the older shape was a bit more this way. We're cutting it down to something around a 45, the generic. Good. I think it looks very nice. These things go rusty like crazy if you leave them. Okay, moving on to the 1000. Questions or whatever, I don't know. Yeah, what material I put on the stone? It's a Nagara stone, a very soft stone, and it dissolves easily. And actually, the sharpening stone is sharpening this and dissolving some mud. And when you're on really, really hard stones, the stones themselves are very hard. It's the mud that's actually doing the abrasive action. On a stronger stone of 400 to 1000, the stone itself is rough and it cuts metal and the water is more of a lubricant. But on a really hard stone, because the stone has such small points, it's the mud on top, the particles in the mud that do the actual sharpening action. Okay, now we've made the shape, we've made the angle we want, now it's the actual sharpening. And again, we start off with very firm pressure. As I go through, getting those scratches out, lighten up the pressure bit by bit by bit. And we're no longer changing the shape here, we're now the actual sharpening. And on the back side. These blades are nice. It's the last maker we could find who is willing to make hollow ground blades. This is supposed to be top secret. I'm not going to tell you where we get these, because our tool business is on the verge of starting to come back to life again. Those of you who've been with us for years, back in 2012, I prepared a sample set of tools. We were so frustrated with having so few good tools on the market. We made up our own set of sample tools. And this was in early 2012. I wasn't able to get them into the market because it was a very difficult, complicated project, and we ran out of money, and Ukiyo Heroes came along at the same time and kind of took up a lot of our attention. But now that other things have become stable, we started to poke around again on this. This is one of the blades that I have from that experimental thing we did back in 2012. And we convinced somebody to make blades for us that were hollow ground. I don't know, how can I explain? Maybe if I explain with one of my bigger tools. Here we go. If you can see on the back of this. As I turn it in the light, it should shine. It should show sort of a basin. The outside area is flat, and you should be able to see at some point in the movement of the light, there's a basin carved. The back is actually hollow. And if you were using this chisel flat on a piece of wood to cut something, most of the back doesn't touch. Now for people doing things like mortises, they're cutting mortises in temple carpentry and stuff like that. They want to make sure that chisel doesn't get pushed away from the wood. So they want the back hollow ground, so just a very small part of the steel touches the wood. But the more important part from my point of view is when you have a hollow ground chisel, when you are sharpening the back of it, if it was a totally flat piece of steel, it's difficult to get your pressure to focus on the front edge without actually, like lifting it up. But because it's hollow ground, the only parts of the chisel that are touching the stone are the edges on each side and the front. And as long as you do your job properly and keep it flat, then the front edge does get sharpened perfectly. These we've had made for us, they actually have a hollow on the back. It's infinitesimally ground, but the back is not flat. The back is in a sort of U shape. And I have no idea how many microns or whatever. This is not millimeters, this is microns. And the end, I gotta be able to show you this, can I? Can I maybe just somewhere in the way I'm rotating this, you can see it at some point where there's the back of the blade is sort of a gray color, not shiny. And the shininess is just along the two edges, and the shininess is just along the tip. Are we getting this? Because I can't see without my glasses here. We do, we get it there. See that? The back of the blade here, there's a gray zone in the middle, and a shiny part along the two edges and the tip. So the back is actually hollow, and most of the back is not touching the stone, but just the edges, and more importantly, just the tip. So we get a perfect sharpen of the tip. Now nobody is making blades like this anymore at this scale. And when we started our tool project 6 years ago, in 2012, we convinced these guys to try making a batch for us. And they cost us plenty. And they weren't really sure if they wanted to take the trouble to do this. But anyway, we convinced them. They made a couple of dozen for us. And we were just ready to get the tool project on the way and out when, like I said, Ukiyo-e Heroes came along and we put it aside. But now maybe, hopefully we can get this back to life. And I'm one of the first carvers on the planet here to be able to get to use these things. Okay, final touch-up. It's not like we're inventing hollow ground. This, all the carpenter's chisels, top quality carpenter's chisels, are made that way. This is nothing new. I'm not trying to say. But to be able to buy small, tiny blades of this type, woodblock printmakers, carving tools, to be able to buy those hollow ground now is impossible. They just don't exist. Whatever, Google it, look it up. It's a deal. It's a big deal. Okay, let's move along. This is now where the mud becomes important. Those two previous stones, Hontoni, if I hadn't put the mud on there, if I had just sprayed water on them, it would have been fine. Because they have their own rough surface to do the sharpening. But on this fine stone, this is now absolutely necessary. I got a laugh about one part about this. There was a visitor last week, Ted Tenold. He's a professional sword sharpener. He drops in every couple of years when he's in town to say hello. And what his job is of course sharpening swords. And he will spend literally weeks, sometimes more, on sharpening a single sword. There are infinite number of things about sharpening swords that I know nothing about, absolutely nothing about. It's a huge craft all on its own. But things like this, I'm going to spend 1 minute or 2 minutes putting a little polish on this blade, because the goal for me isn't the polish, the goal for me is making a print. But for a sword sharpener, they've got their superb array of stones, they've got their mud, all different kinds of mud laid out, and then they'll spend hour after hour after hour after hour rubbing steel against a rock. And the angle and the pressure and the tension and everything is for them vitally important. And he'd look at me and say, "What do you do? You're not finished in 1 minute." I said, "Yeah, I'm finished in 1 minute." So the counter bevel on the back here. The main bevel is on the front, and then the back was flat. And the very last step, a tiny little, I don't know if you saw what I did. I put it in the back, I lifted it up, just X degrees, very light pressure. And this actually destroys, it takes away the absolute final edge. And it's necessary, because anyway, if I put it into a hard piece of cherry, that edge is going to crumble and crack right away. So I'm putting a bit of a back bevel on it to cut it down to the level where it won't crumble so much. I think we're done. So the first sharpen on a brand new blade. And of course I'll put it in the wood and it'll probably crack. Such is life. All right, let's see. One glass is off, one glass is on. and it feels silly to be using this scope for such a large drawing. Anyway, whatever, let's just go. Where am I? Where are we going to start? Are we good to go? A bit of oil, camellia oil, on my hand here, a bit of oil. And look at that, total transparency. It doesn't get any better than this. First cut, here we go. Oh, this knife wants to go into that wood. This is sharp. It wants to go too deep. Nice, nice, nice. Relatively nice piece of wood. Fun design to carve. New knife blade. very end of the tip of this blade is now gone. It's turning out well. The blade feels good. The very tip of it is gone. And there's a couple of small cracks now appearing along the length of it. And this is expected with a brand new blade. As I said, the first bit at the end here, almost always, the temper is weak. And this thing cracks and chips a little bit. It's okay, I'm going to keep carving. This is no disaster. And if I sharpened again right now, the same thing would happen again in seconds anyway. And get a pointer here. But this is what you get with a new blade. The very tip has gone. I don't even know what fraction of a millimeter. There's a couple of clicks and clicks, chips along the length of the blade. And if it's a normal good blade for us, then after I sharpen again and sharpen again, after it comes down about 1 or 2 or 3 millimeters, then this weakness should disappear. But at the moment, it's a very weak blade. It's too soon to tell if it's going to be a really good one. If that excuse me, if that weakness persists after repeated sharpenings, then we know we've got a blade that's a turkey, and to just toss it aside. But that's really quite rare. The guy who's been making these blades, the lady who's been making these blades, is really good at this. You can see I'm avoiding stressing it here. Instead of making one cut around the edge of that, I've made 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to avoid stressing this thing because I know the weak tip of this blade, it's very prone to breaking and snapping off. So perhaps even more than usual, I'm being careful not to unduly twist it or bend it. Today is Saturday, and normally I'd be totally alone here today. We'd just be running the stream till about 9:30, but there's going to be two. What's today? Let's say it's 8:52. So we're going to actually have both. The regular Suga-san is coming in today because I wasn't able to get her paper ready in time. She's coming in on Saturday. I did the sizing for her last night, late last night. It was all hung up. And I checked it this morning, actually, and it's okay. It's quite dry. We've had a good dry weather here the last couple of days. So her paper is now ready for her. It's a day later than she asked for, but it's ready. So she's coming in today to do some more test printing on meteoric power and to prepare this paper. And she's going to prepare it for Monday's printing. She'll be cutting the paper to size this morning, cutting the paper to the proper dimensions this morning. Then she's going to moisten it. That'll be her first thing this morning, cutting it to dimensions and moistening it. Then she'll move ahead with her test printing, but before she goes home tonight, she will then take the moistened paper and she'll press it. We're going to run it through a press. Because some of the paper we get these days has such a rough surface, it's difficult to print on. So we put it through an actual etching press. not to put an image on it, but just to calendar the surface to do it flat. You've seen me do that before on some of these streams. So she'll be doing that today before she goes home, so that when she comes back on Monday, the paper will be properly moistened, properly flattened, and ready to go with printing of the new Ukiyo-e Heroes Meteoric Power print. We're getting those things done now, eh? The prints that were all promised during the Kickstarter campaign, they're out, and our Dragon Ball is being signed. The Dragon's Gift is being signed by Jed right now. It's probably on the way back already. Where are we here? Questions. I didn't... So I was saying how strong my hands and fingers must be. I don't think so. I'm just a normal guy. I don't have any specific power or strength at all. It's a very sharp blade. I'm controlling it very carefully, but it's not strong. We're removing so little amount of wood. It's not a question of strength here. It's quiet applied power, I guess. No idea. Very little actual strength. Okay, have I got it all on this top part? That's done. This is done. Around the handle of the ladle. This is done. That's there. The circle is cut. That's cut. That's cut. The front of the bamboo. The crisscross of the support. Okay, I think that one's done. Let's move down to the next section. These are very, very easy prints, you know. If there was nothing else going on, if I didn't have other work, these would just be, it's not trivial, but they're very, very, very simple. This is the kind of work that really beginner carvers and printers in this workshop should be doing, if we had more and more beginners here. It's either Cameron or Suga. Cameron-san or Suga-san, who knows. Cameron-san, Kishon. So, will it be Suga-san or will it be Cameron-san first up?
I heard you were doing dosa with her last night?
Actually, I did it by myself.
Oh, okay.
We looked at it together, and she really didn't have much confidence. And also, I realized I had made the offer of let's do it together a bit too early because they were large sheets.
Oh,
they were big, big sheets.
So it would be tough to
do that
for a beginner.
So the other day, Shiba-san's been doing things together, but they really are. It wasn't overly large, within the reach of an arm and stuff.
Yeah.
So last night, both of us realized that if we let her do it, a bunch of the sheets are probably not going to be so well done.
Yeah.
So we decided just that I would do it.
Okay. Can I join you this morning?
I think they're frantically busy, but there's different conversations going on over there. I guess I've been.
Have you already talked about this?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. I actually really haven't had much of a chance to look at it. I'm sorry. I think there's again a bunch of new people here again. It seems
cool.
Almost every day recently is a bunch of new. So
yeah.
The regulars don't stay very long. You know, there's the few core regulars,
yeah.
and then there's other people come and go and come and go and come and go.
Yeah. Turn off any Wi-Fi sucking devices in case I have any. You already hit Safari, I presume.
It's gone, yeah. Safari's in the background, and I haven't been actually looking at it every minute. But what's the stream?
It's looking good.
Nobody's been reporting problems.
Not until I'm here.
The other computers are both sleeping. And is it showing? I don't know.
Zero drop
Zero.
frames?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I think that's the key, to be plugged in and not have Safari web content.
Yeah.
In the background.
Yeah.
Because when I look at the activity monitor that shows the CP usage and stuff like this, there's this generic thing called Safari web content, which means like an ad in the middle of some Safari window or whatever, you know.
Got it. Yeah. Subasa Akrati says, I've missed watching the stream. I've been busy, so
We've
welcome
been
back.
here, man. So we've been here.
Yep. But also busy. But good to see you again. Dead Steve, do you have any Wi-Fi predictions today? Yeah, did anyone receive their $5?
Here's Sugasakana. So here's sounds. Maybe. Hopefully today will be a little less. Less, I'm not sure what word to use. A little less emotionally disruptive than yesterday.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you know, so. The parties are busy. There's 4 parties all sold out, and it's just me and Kawaii-san. Everybody else says, nope, can't work today. Nope, sorry, can't work today. Nope, I'm gone, can't work today. It's just me and him.
Well, I'll stay down here in the shop. That'll be
whatever. You know, I have no idea how it's going to go, but yes.
Yeah.
So, and then tomorrow there's 3 of them, and there's only 1 party booked. You know, Sunday.
Got it. Someone scrolling way back. Someone said they got the Contented Spirit in the mail today. It's so beautiful. So glad it made it.
So,
We've sent out
they've all been shipped.
many in the
they've
last
all
few
been shipped.
days. So we're glad they're arriving. That's great.
And Shiba-san is so happy about this, you know. So
Oh, I'm sure.
a couple of things happened. One person who bought it a few weeks ago sent a photograph of the print in a frame hanging on his living room wall with other stuff, you know.
Wow.
So I sent it over to Shiba-san, and she's like,
What?
it's really happening, you know. her art, the thing she created, is on somebody's wall somewhere in another part of the world.
Yeah.
And she's like, we get this because we knew for a long time.
Yeah.
For her, it's a new experience.
Yeah.
And she's like,
What?
you know.
That's so great.
Then the other thing, she was here Wednesday morning to check in for work, and she showed the sketch of that print. She was talking about that one with the spiders and this and that.
And some guy.
And people, not just what people are asking for this. They want this already. Can I order this print? You know, and she's just, what? Wait.
Yeah. During the stream, she said not until September
or something
later
like this. I don't even remember. She doesn't even know what it's going to look like yet, and somebody's already asking, how can I sign up for this? You know. And with this, I'm not being sarcastic. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
She's so chuffed by this. You know.
Yeah. By the way, Ohio, Ohaiyo, means something like it's a lung or it's ashes, whereas Ohio means good morning. Kantar wrote out, I guess, depending on how you spell it, you end up with different kanji.
Something Google Translate has worked out, or
probably just having that
playing
I.
games. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Hi.
spelled funny. Spelled differently can bring out different words.
I think the classic joke about Ohio was that's how Americans can remember it. Just, you know, there's a state.
Yeah, and then afternoon is Indiana. No, just kidding. Good morning, it's Ohio. Where should good evening be?
There was a joke about that. I think, you know, the guy keeps walking around Japan here saying to people, Idaho, and they're like, they're not getting it. He's got the wrong state.
Idaho. Oh no. Shiba-san should open up some waiting lists.
Well, we're keeping track, right? You did start a list?
Yep. Yeah, we've got them. Kantar, are you telling me it's a lung is not a proper way to greet someone? I think that's what he's saying. Someone saw me and said, David shaved! Nope. But I haven't either in a little while. I think you've been going a little bit longer than I have without shaving.
Well, when I quit shaving was when I left the music store. And it would have been somewhere around before I left the music, when I left the Toronto manager's job at the music store. So somewhere around 1980, I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm not a strong beard person, you know. I mean, it doesn't get any longer than this. It's already at max length because it keeps falling out. You know, it's a weak.
Wispy beard.
Yeah. So exactly. So there's no specific strength here. It's the hair on top of my head that's the one that's out of control. It just will not stop. It just will not stop.
So that one you get trimmed with some regularity.
Well, I might have, not at the moment because I didn't get Oma. The woman in Oma who cuts it, you know, I go back there every few weeks and I tell her, look, chop it back more because it's just going to keep coming back. So she's okay. And she chops it back. And I'm like, a couple of weeks later, I'm there again because I can't see anymore still. And she's like, what did you do? What elixir are you drinking to do this? Because she wants to package it and sell it, you know. And I'm like, lady, I don't have any idea what's going on, you know. So my brother is the other way around. He doesn't have much left up there at all.
Yeah.
And the casual gag between us, which I guess is perhaps true, is he's a fairly high testosterone kind of guy. You know, the power, like you see these Wall Street guys with the ball domes and you know, and they're obviously pretty high power, high testosterone. You know. It comes with the territory, I guess. Probably testosterone itself loses hair or something, I don't know. And you can tell by the fact that I have so much hair, you can tell where I am on that scale, you know. Lower testosterone, you know, so no aggressive behavior. The ladies here are all safe from me. There's no predatory behavior. So, but the other side of it, I got lots of hair, so, you know.
Someone says, is there a pic of clean-shaven Dave anywhere?
Pick a picture, you mean? Like, when I was 2 years old or something, or whatever, I don't know. You mean clean or clean-shaven? I'm clean this morning, you know. Yeah. The last couple of days has been a different story, because I really did. Last night, who was here? It was Suga-san. We were talking about doing the sizing and stuff, you know. Yeah. And she didn't say anything, but like, I've been in the same shirt and the same shorts for 2 days. Wednesday morning was the last time I got changed. I had time to do this. So the last 2 nights, I just
go
lay down on the floor and just lay down and get up in the morning. But this morning, whatever, Dave, it's now gone too far. You've got to deal with customers. Get in the shower, you know. So at the moment, I have clean shorts, clean shirt, and I'm
good to go.
I'm passable. I'm good to go. But if we have another couple of days like the last couple of days, I don't. You know you're in trouble when you're doing a print party and the other staff member heads for the window and cracks the window open a bit wider, you know.
People are asking about a visitor map. What is that?
Oh, the Twitch stream visitor map to show.
Oh, okay.
But I think you can find
it. It's like someone actually just shared a link
it's in
for
here.
it.
There's a link into it in there, I think.
Oh, okay. I see visitor map.
But you got to click off the one that says today, because otherwise they're going to roll. They're going to.
Oh, okay.
Got it?
I'll hit the today one. Visitor map. There we go.
I assume the link is up to date. This is not something I'm controlling. It's something that one of the Twitch members has set up.
It's the Spine Ripper.
Yeah.
That's a scary name.
And whether it's updated or not, I don't know. I think it updates by itself.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not in control of it. It just sits there. So.
Yeah.
Did you put your flag on the visitor map, Cameron?
I have not. Where do I mark? Where I live now? Where I was born? Where I lived the last several years? We've got an email with a question. Hurrah!
I didn't hear the beat. What?
I thought I heard it, and then someone said, I sent a question to your email,
okay,
so
right.
I'll go dig it up.
Oh, maybe the sound is turned off. I don't know. Is it just the...
It's kind of like that. Okay, here we go. Hello, Dave from Sweden. Okay, sorry for interrupting your carving, but I'm watching your stream with my fiance, and it's her first time, so I'm trying to explain the print process with the different blocks and colors for each block. She can't really understand why you make a block for each color. Is there any chance you could take a minute to show her the other blocks and explain how the printing works with the color layering? Using...
Well, there's a short answer and a long answer. The short answer is either we now or somebody in the stream can link to one of those Chibi Heroes videos that shows in really well step by step in 2-second cuts the whole process of a print from start to finish. For now, I guess, whatever, as the man's asked. Can you
Oh, you might need to zoom out a little bit.
can you
to
pop up
make room.
just for a quick second in the very top of the list here, Patreon Chibi 2018?
There it is. Yes.
This shows where we're going. Those
Okay.
are not the real colors. Those are dummy colors, but that shows what we're trying to make here. A woodblock print in a bunch of colors. And what we've done is we've carved, well not we, I carved a few weeks ago, the key block lines, the block which has the black outlines for that print you're looking at. It has registration marks on it where paper goes in at printing time. There's one key block and there's going to be 5 color blocks. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm carving one of the color blocks. You can perhaps see it's the same picture. It lines up the same way. The hammer outline here appears here. And what I'm carving now is I'm going to leave these yellow-green zones. When this color block is finished, it will look something like this. Here's a finished color block. The zones you don't want are taken away. The zones you want to print are still there. And there are the same registration marks on it. So at printing time, once the set of, in this case, 6 blocks are ready, paper gets rubbed on the whole thing. Paper gets rubbed on here, it comes up with a black outline. Then you start with the color blocks, you rub, maybe it'll be brown pigment on this one, I think. You rub brown pigment on, put the same sheet of paper in, and now you've got key block plus brown. And you go through one by one by one, the different set of blocks. So I think in a nutshell, that's what we're trying to do here. For a better picture of it, a video picture of it, has somebody posted
Yeah,
that?
we've got that on here now. So thank you. Well, hope that helps.
And what I'm doing actually physically right now is we're cutting lines into this block, so that this yellow area will be the part that stays. And in a minute, if you're still here, in 3 minutes from now, you'll see me chiseling noisily to take away this unneeded wood. Because I'm at the last corner of this block right now. So just hang on a couple of minutes and you'll see the next stage happening.
So no more questions. No, I'm just kidding. Questions. Great.
But if I were on a date with a fiance, would be carving wood blocks be the thing you want to do together? Come over, dear. Sit closer to me and let's watch somebody carve wood block. Sitting on the sofa together there.
I don't know. Someone said, well, it's better than Netflix.
I don't know. I mean, we are also on Netflix, so
Yeah.
there's good content and there's,
Less interesting content.
Also, too, I meant to ask you to investigate that. Or,
Oh.
the Netflix thing, we have heard now from more than one person that it's on Netflix in the US.
Really?
And I'm just convinced what they've done is they've got a Japanese login or something, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Huh.
But I've heard from more than one person, nope, Dave, you're wrong. I saw it on Netflix back home. I said, no, you didn't. You probably saw it on Amazon Prime or on Google Play or something. No, I saw it on Netflix.
Huh.
And I'm thinking, you're probably wrong.
Well,
But I've heard
you can ask my brother.
more than
'cause
one
he's
person.
got it.
So at that time I meant to ask you about that if we have a contact.
Or any of you on here today. Pull
So-
up Netflix. If you've got an account, take a look. See if you can find it. I think we're calling it Art of the Game.
The
Ukiyo-e.
art of the game
Yeah.
/ Ukiyo-e Heroes. So and we've told repeatedly it's on Netflix here in Japan, but not in America. But I've heard from multiple sources now who swear they have seen it on Netflix US. And it's still on Delta Airlines. I heard that again just the other day. It's still there, long running. It was supposed to be there for 1 month, and it's still up now. So.
Fetch Dress Car says, I don't see it at the moment.
Yeah, okay, well, I think I'm right then. I think this person was mistaken, so, you know.
No dice here, US Netflix. Thanks for checking. That's interesting. I think this is the person with the question who's watching it with the fiance. It says, we enjoy it. We're very artistic as well, so it's interesting for them.
Yeah, thank you.
Glad to have you.
Well, I think I've finished the cutting part of this block now. I think. Is there more? Oh, no, I'm not finished.
Amazon Prime Video has it, but not Netflix in the US.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we know it, right?
Okay. So maybe that's how they
Yeah.
got into it.
Yeah, that's what I said to the guy. I said, you've probably seen it on Amazon Prime. He said, no, it was Netflix. It was Netflix. And we couldn't argue back and forth because I didn't know and he didn't remember. But I think that's pretty clearly what's happened.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime, you're buying it, right? As a single, you pay and watch.
Yep.
And I think it's you can purchase it and or rent it. Either way, I believe.
Got it.
This must be Suga-san.
It is. おはようございます。
おはようございます。あれ、今日カメラさん。
そう、珍しい土曜日でしょ？
珍しいね。
そう。He's getting primed to ask for Monday off or something or
そっ
whatever.
か。
No, it's good.
Suga-san, your paper is ready. I did it last
あり
night.
がとうござい
It
ます
looks good. It looks good. So
どうさできました。
あ、どうぞありがとうございます
don't punch me, kiss me. It's okay. Which is worse. So.
あ、ごめんね
It looks good. 結構スムーズになったと思いますよ。
あ、本当ですか
そうごめん、まだ干してありますが。
了解です。わかりました。ありがとうございます
ごめんね、さっきの。
ありがとうございます
Much happier this morning.
She's easy to please. Yes, all you have to do is do your job properly. I mean, to me, all I have to do is do my job properly, and she's happy. So.
Oh, is there some highlighter marks there too? I didn't see.
Yeah, there's a bit of a shadow on the bottom of the wood chips. I'm sorry, I forgot that. So it's coming up. So. What I'll do is these highlight things. I'm not quite sure what to do with them at the moment. I've just scribbled zigzag, 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 zigzag.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure whether I should use itabokashi, block bokashi, just come down and make a gradation in the wood on these things, or whether I should cut the variation in color. I'm not sure what to do yet. So what I'm going to do for now is just leave that zone, do my wide chisel clearing, and then as the very last step, make my decision and come back about what to do with those.
Got it.
So I think that's it. I think now we're going to get noisy, sir. We just have a last check here.
Treadmill 2 says, Dave, show her the clip. Did you have a clip or something to show Suga-san?
But it must be. I know at the beginning of this stream today, when I turned it on, they're chatting, and somebody popped in a link to one of the Twitch clips. So somebody must have Twitch clipped yesterday when I forget what we were doing. When I had to tell her the bad news, and the tape wasn't ready, and she's like, whatever. So somebody seems to have clipped this.
Oh, okay.
I myself don't quite remember what happened. She didn't yell at me, right? But what did we do? Or I started crying, or I don't remember what happened. So.
No, she just was a lot of hey.
I don't remember. Or the one, was it the day before when you came up the stairs and I'd forgotten to take her paper out?
Oh, yes,
the day
that
before.
was the day before.
I panicked because I thought I'd screwed up, and I was taken off the hook because she didn't show up.
Yeah.
So I don't remember. Whatever, it's one of these clips or something.
Yeah.
We should show her that one where Dave's thinking, "Oh my God, I've forgotten to take her paper out." His face goes white. He swears. He shits his pants. He runs upstairs. Let's show her how much I care.
Yeah.
So. Oh well, whatever. Okay, moving on to the heavy work here. It's going to get noisy.
Dramatic event. Dave can't remember. Oh,
There's too
Persuader's
many
coming out.
dramatic events.
Yeah.
Too many, Too many. Okay, we need to zoom out, of course, to get this. Where am I? Is that somewhere in there? I'm going to bash around this. I don't need the light, right? Because it's better without it, because it just shows too many shadows, I think, is it? Excuse me. I've got a catch in my throat again. It's been clear for the past while, but it's come back now. So.
And here's the clip. Someone has prepared it for us. Thanks, Jolly Green Titan.
And the clip, meaning what? It was
The paper!
that one. That was 2 days ago. Yeah,
Yeah, 2 days ago.
She wasn't even here that time. So.
Right.
My life is being preserved in these bunch of random clips. I was saying that this morning, I mean, not only are we open about things, but every word I say is being recorded and stuck up on YouTube. And then the ones where I screw up are being magnified and highlighted. There was one, I saw where is it? It was, I think it's on the Twitch channel itself. People can clip and put things within Twitch.
Okay.
And I got an email saying 800 viewers. And what? Somebody's, this screw up
views
of mine
what?
of me screwing something up because people magnify this and highlight this. I had kind of mixed feelings about this. So
Yeah.
you guys be careful. You push me too far.
Goodbye, Twitch.
No. And yesterday, that young man came in and I said, "Come on, sit in front of the camera. Sit in front of the camera." And that would have been an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
So. I hope he comes back today to talk. I hope he comes in. We can, we can't tell that story on Twitch, but we can mention something that a week or so ago, it turns out that we had a very special print party. We hadn't actually known it was a real special print party, but one of the print parties was a real special print party. And we heard news yesterday that put me and a couple of our staff members in tears for the rest of the day when we realized how much of a special print party it had been. And we learned a bunch of things yesterday, that people are here not just to have fun, but some people are here really
Make memories.
for deeper reasons, deeper things. So we have to just remember to do our job properly, do our job as well as we can. And sometimes things mean a lot more than you realize they mean.
Yeah.
And just, keep busy. And anyway, enough. Let me make some noise here. Excuse me. Let me make some noise. Before I do, again, I remembered. It's so easy now. You can't see the registration marks. They're there, but it's so easy with the chisel and chatting and talking to whack them off and get them off. So I remember to mark, Dave, do not touch that corner.
Yeah.
After 40 years of doing this, I'm not immune from something like this, So. Okay, there we go. Let's do this. I got the wrong glasses on. They've stopped talking about that drinking game. Every time they had a drinking game going. Every time Dave changes his glasses, take a shot. The day they do. They play drinking games on something in the movie, whatever it says on it. And every time I change my glasses, people drink. And there you go. They take another one, please. But I think somebody died of alcohol poisoning. So I don't know. So they quit. Okay, gang. Here we go. Thank you.
The glasses drink. You think I forgot?
I didn't hear much discussion about it. But as long as I don't have to take a shot, it's all right. So
all the drinking game people are in rehab. Sad.
So that they're gone. So they're dead or
Sad.
Even this morning, I did the one tap with the hammer to put the registration marks in there. So I give the usual warning, there's going to be one tap, blam, blam, blam. And actually what I did was, and I get hassled. That wasn't one tap, that was 2 taps.
That was
so I can't do anything right here. It wasn't 2, it was a tap and an echo.
We've got a new question in the question box. It's only just discovered the YouTube channel and couldn't believe there was a Twitch channel as well. I'm so happy I found the work you do. It's fascinating. My question is, what pushed you to engage so heavily with the new media lately? It seems you could have a lot less stress and work just staying alone in the shop. So.
It's a good question. I'm not quite sure the true answer. I can answer what I think is a good answer, but we never know what are our own motivations or what drives us psychologically, or should I lay down on the couch and get analyzed here?
Yeah.
So what I think I'm doing, and the real motivation for what I'm doing, I'm perhaps not quite sure. There's a few different answers. There's right back from the beginning of when I was making printmaking. Before the net, I was active on social media.
Yeah.
Before the internet. What I mean is, I used to publish a quarterly newsletter, show what I'm doing, interview the craftsmen, and here's what I've done recently, and keep you up to date and stuff like that. So when I say that's social media, it was sharing what I was doing with people out in the community, whatever. So this is nothing new, and it's been going on for years and years and years. And for me, it started in 1990 with that newsletter. So why do I do this? X% clearly is publicity, send in, promotion and publicity. You want people to come here and look at our prints and buy some so that I can put rice in my mouth.
Yeah.
So X% is clearly for the practical reason of bringing people in to see our work.
Let people know what's going on.
If I left it there, that wouldn't be true, because obviously I like this. I like, people come in the store, what are you doing? And I'll say the same story again. I've told 10,000 times how we're doing this, and my eyes light up and I start saying it again. And it's not that, here we go, and it's the same dumb question. Why did you come to Japan to do this?
Yeah.
There's something in my character that just, it's
sharing
fun
stories
to talk about what we're doing. And it's probably the base of it. It's ego. Look at me. Look what I'm doing. Look how special I am. And, I don't know. So X% of these things are all mixed together. So I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a ego-driven maniac who wants people to look at me and think I'm so cool, or maybe it's the practical purpose, and in reality, it's some percentage of all these things mixed together.
Yeah.
ごにかいさん、紙をさっき示して結構硬かったんですけど、30分前、ストリームが始まる前にちょっと見たんですけど、ちょっと見て多分大丈夫ですが、ちょっとわからない。絵の具ちょっと薄くなったと思いますが、黄色がもうないですね。上から持って、そのパーティー4回ですね、今日は。So yeah, I don't know. That's all I can answer, really. So.
And you said you do it to put rice in your mouth, and he says, "We all know Dave isn't eating rice. He's totally a cup noodles guy." I don't think you ever eat cup noodles.
I don't eat cup noodles at all. I'm sorry, I can't remember I have in the past at some point.
Right, but it's not.
I don't eat that stuff. I don't eat stuff. I eat actually quite carefully and quite reasonably and healthy food.
A lot of salad.
A lot of salad. Vegetables. So I don't. No. People are worried about that. Dave, you're so busy, bang, bang, bang. Please get good sleep and please get good food. And actually, both of those I'm good at. At the end of the day, bang, I collapse. I sleep like a log for 7 or 8 hours.
Yep.
And I'm really quite reasonable with my food. So, so those two concerns, I think, are misplaced. So.
Yeah.
Speaking about a guy who skipped lunch yesterday. Yesterday was different.
Yeah.
You gobbled yours yesterday, right? You're like about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Quick. No, it was
Changing
fine.
plans there. So
we went on an adventure. Drove around Tokyo.
Okay, yeah.
Which no one does for fun.
And talk about that. Tell what happened yesterday.
Yeah. Yesterday, Kawai-san, who's been in and out a lot of times. Here he is again. Yesterday we went.
楽しかったかな？
面白かったよ。ロードトリップみたいな感じで。
そう、road trip.
It was interesting. We, due to all the construction on the first floor, we're generating a lot of garbage, a lot of stuff that we needed
Industrial
to get rid of.
garbage.
Industrial garbage, yeah. We can't just put it out with the normal trash. So we went to a dump that was 25-30 minutes away or so by car.
Yeah, I don't think it's a dump. If you remember,
Yeah, it's not really a dump. A recycle center.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
And they take all the trash and divide it up and destroy it. I took some interesting videos because I've never seen anything like this. They were taking this huge machinery, driving it on top of a pile of concrete, and then just going back and forth to grind
double
up
it up.
the concrete.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun to just watch these things. It says move the microphone. I don't know where to. But
we'll take it away from the hammer too close to you, but we're a little bit limited by the length of the cord here, so no.
Maybe that's better? Is that helping?
I don't have no idea. Does it go maybe this far down there, away from, at least off this table to
Yeah.
decorations? That's
Not quite.
here, pull up one of these cords or something, like that. It should do that, right?
Let's see if that helps. Can you hear me? Better. Okay. So my voice was getting lost in the hammering.
Sorry.
That's okay.
This is I gotta do this, but
What did we do?
But the thing about that garbage was you can't just take it and dump it. We
Right.
pay them.
Yeah.
It's
Pay
a
them to
recycling,
take
but
it.
we paid
A lot.
bunch of money.
Yeah. It was quite a bit because we had lots of metal, wood. What's that?
Gypsum
dry-
board,
yeah, the
technical
gypsum board, yeah.
and then tiles, all those broken tiles.
So
and
many
smacked up
tiles.
tiles.
Yeah. We removed from the walls. So a lot of fun. But it took forever. We got there in about a half hour, and then we waited in line for over an hour because there were so many other cars there.
I've never seen that. Every time I've been there before, we just drove in. They were waiting for us.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's March, April. It's I know. Yeah.
All the companies are doing their big projects. So it was a long wait, but we just chatted. It was fine. Then after that, we drove out to Shinkiba. How do you describe that? Another industrial area with lumber yards?
Lumber market.
Yeah, lumber market. And went over there and picked up new Yamazakura, new cherry that...
Me and Aoyama-san went out there last Wednesday to buy.
Right.
We got pictures, but because he's out of town right now, we don't have the pictures. So that story's waiting to be told.
Got it. So we have new wood, and I got some pictures, you got some pictures. They-san got some pictures of yesterday's pickup. But
so we'll put them together and get a blog post or something.
yeah. So we got some new wood, and that's exciting too. So
that was the question sound I heard.
yeah, that was it. So it's a road trip all around Tokyo. Hello from almost Canada, New York. So it must be right up on the border. It's funny. But, okay, we've got a question from Ken Hallett. Can Dave briefly describe qualities of mountain cherry that make it better than any other wood? Since we just bought quite a bit of it.
You mean why specifically mountain cherry as
I think
opposed to
so.
cherry, or
Yeah.
why cherry as opposed to some other wood?
Oh yeah, he says qualities of mountain cherry that make it more desirable than standard cherry. So
It's the other way around. There are problems with standard cherry that mountain cherry doesn't have. I know. I didn't know this. I just used mountain cherry because that's all I was using for years and years and years. And we didn't realize the problem until we ended up using a plank that wasn't mountain cherry. It was some other type of cherry.
let's bring this back up.
And I hadn't known it till I actually tried it. And it turns out that the two trees, they're very, very, very similar. But any tree, the water comes from the roots, goes up the top. Water. The tree picks up water and takes it up there, and it becomes sap and whatever. But anyway, there are channels, there are pipes in a piece of wood where they go from the bottom of the tree to the top. And on any given plank of wood, those pipes, which are actually holes in the wood, those pipes are there on the surface of the wood. They look like little tiny streaks. And we're not talking about the grain, the brown, white, the yearly annual rings. It's just microscopically there in all the wood as it goes back and forth.
Yeah.
And it turns out that the size of these pipes is different in mountain cherry and real cherry. In mountain cherry, they're so small that when you print on a thing, if you look at it totally under a microscope, you can sort of see those little faint impressions where these pipes were. Remember when we slice a piece of wood, we're actually slicing it as though it was vertically up the tree, right? We've cut a tree, we lay it down, we slice it into planks. So those pipes that transmitted water are running this way.
Right.
But they're not all visible long, so you don't cover, they in and out, in and out. Anyway, long story short, on a mountain cherry, they are very thin pipes and they don't print. You can see a piece of flat color and it just looks like blue. It's blue as blue.
Okay.
But on other varieties of cherry, and I'm not biologically, whatever, blah, 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 whatever, cherry that's not mountain cherry, the cherry that's just called, quote, cherry, unquote. Those pipes are quite a bit fatter and they leave a palpable bump in the surface of the wood. So even when you plane it, You're planing wood that has pipes, that has holes inside.
Yeah.
So there are actually bits missing.
Little divots.
So, and if in some is worse, some is better. It's visible. You print the smooth color, and you can see these streaks running all the way through it along the direction of the grain. So, long story short, quote, generic cherry, unquote,
Yeah.
has bigger, fatter pipes that leaves marks, visible marks in the finished results, and mountain cherry is tighter and denser. But having said that, some mountain cherry is looser and tighter, some regular cherry is looser and tighter. I'm speaking in general terms about the two types. So to my understanding, that's the biggest difference between the two species, or between this species and all the others.
Yeah.
And there's Canadian cherry, American cherry, whatever. There's a million different types, and I can't give you a list of ones. Yes, this is acceptable. No, that's not acceptable. All I can say is, cut it, try it.
Yeah.
You know. And again, for most people out there printing who are not trying to do UQA level master technology, any piece of cherry is probably just fine. You know.
Yeah.
We're just trying to do it the way it was done for the same reasons they did it that way, to get that specific result.
Yeah.
If there was nothing else left on the planet, if we had chewed up all the mountain cherries and they were gone, I would use cherry and none of the customers would ever notice.
Yeah.
But we do notice still, and it is still there, so that's why we use it. So.
Ken Hans says, great explanation. Thanks so much. My search continues. A question you've been asked before. What is the worst wood you can use for carving and printing? No wood. Just try something first if you're looking to explore. At least I think that's what you've said in the past, and then build up from there.
Whatever
as you
the
get
whole thing,
experience, but
we don't want to make people think, oh my God, I don't have the official stuff, so I can't do this. That's
Right.
not the point. We ourselves work at a very specific level of technology because we want a very specific result. People who are interested in trying this, forget that stuff. You just want a piece of WOOD. Don't sweat it. Just try anything. You want a knife, KNIFE. It doesn't have to be the original, authentic stuff.
Yeah.
Just try.
yeah. Zilvian, what do you do with the carved out wood? Do you mean all these wood chips that are around the desk right now, or?
This stuff?
Yeah.
Right now, these are just going to go straight in the garbage. And of course, in a more traditional carver's workshop, there's no central heating. There was a stove. So
just
bang,
throw
you
'em
go
in.
in the stove.
Yeah.
My girlfriend at one point took a bunch of them herself for her garden. She wanted to burn them up and use the ash. And it seems that it's for some gardening people, there's a specific chemical thing that the ash from cherry had phosphorus or something. I don't
Okay.
any idea what was it, but she wanted cherry ash.
Some good nutrients for the garden.
Something like this, yes.
Okay. The wood chips are the staff snacks. Doesn't just because they're chips, so
Should we package them and so on?
yeah. Package them and sell them. Real authentic Mokuhankan wood chips. Lightly salted.
Mokuhankan's garbage.
Yeah, Mokuhankan's garbage. You pay us for the garbage. We
So
ain't paying you.
we've just been through that, right?
Yeah.
So we had to pay to get our garbage taken out. So
Yeah.
don't let me go too long here, Cameron Sanjay,
Oh.
because it's a booked out party day, and it's
Oh,
just
we've
me
gone
and
too
my
long
wife,
then.
Ready?
9:37.
Okay, we got to get out of here then, or I've
Yeah.
got to get out of here. I can't finish this now. So
Okay.
let's do that now.
Okay.
Where are we on the project here? There's the key block is finished. 1, 2 color blocks are finished. The third one is underway. There are 2 more color faces to go. And the only time I'm ever able to do this is right here on the stream. I'm not doing it any other time. So a job that should be a day or a day and a half is taking me
Longer.
a week and a half, whatever to do. So tomorrow's, what's today? Today's Saturday.
Saturday, the 14th.
If all goes well, tomorrow's stream will continue right here with these goods untouched, just exactly as I'm leaving them here.
Okay. We will see
I've
you
got to get to work, do my
Okay.
real work. Yes.
Thanks
So
a lot.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thank you very much.
Yep. Thanks for chatting. It's always good to talk with you. We will see you next time. And
Over and out. Are we done?
yep.